Hello YouTube, this is Matthew Williams and I'm just making a little video response to a video I just watched called New Swirled Order, which is on YouTube under the name New Swirled Order brackets crop circle documentary 2009. And the reason I'm making this little video is just to go through some of the points that I disliked hearing in the video. And well, number one point is that Nancy Talbot makes the statement that in many crop circles they're finding the magnetic particles. It was to my understanding that these were only found in one crop circle, and a lot has been made of that, which has been also explained by the fact that these were iron filings planted in the crop circle, which just goes to show how bad Dr. but not a doctor, Levengood and his research is. And no circle makers were interviewed for the whole of this documentary, so no challenges were put forward to see whether or not the circle makers could do something which would actually be measured by the researchers, so that the standards could be tested to see whether the researchers are up to the job or not. So because no circle makers were sought out, obviously a very biased viewpoint is put forward by the program, and there's people sort of making all sorts of wowish statements about I felt the circle was real. Feel the circle is real. It's a little bit strong to kind of say that you can walk into a crop circle and you feel it's real. I mean, you can get a lot of different feelings of elation, I'm sure, going into a crop circle, but how exactly can you say you feel it's real? So I didn't like the fact that some of the circles that were being shown as the so-called evidence of humans were actually quite messy circles, and no reference was made to any of the very high quality circles which have been made as demonstrations by circle makers in order to ridicule the concept that humans are out there making circles. Of course they show scrappy little doodly designs and bits of crop damage, and then they go, that's humans, and then they go and look at these nice ones, and these are definitely not humans. And Charles Mallet, who is no stranger to making it up as he goes along, comes forth and says, in a crop circle we don't find any damage. We go in there and we see that there's no evidence of scrape marks or plants being broken, that the crop circles are just immaculate. And of course, because they're so immaculate, people can't be involved. Well, it sounds good. It always does sound good. But the point is that Charles Mallet is talking through his ring piece, because Charles Mallet does not tell it how it is. And many times I've seen Charles Mallet just making it up as he goes along, basically. There's evidence in nearly every crop circle of damage. And this is how I came to be a circle maker, because I was out there doing proper unbiased research, and when I did my research I found that there was damage in the crop circles, and there is still damage in the crop circles, the ones that appear from last year, which this video is made up from, and there'll be damage in the circles from this year. But if you are not prepared to tell the truth, if you're not prepared to actually tell it how it is, then you're going to tell people that there's no damage in the crop circles. And this happens a lot, and it gets me really pissed off to see people who call themselves researchers going out there, seeing that there's damage in the crop circles, and then going, well, we're not going to say that, because if we say that, then they won't believe us. So then they'll think crop circles are made by people, and we don't want to making those kind of determinations. So we have to say that there's no damage, that we've got magical effects, that it's factual, it's been checked by scientists. I don't know many scientists that have actually checked the crop circles apart from Levengood, who is kind of discredited a little bit by the fact that he has been shown to be wrong in circles which were known to be man-made, and samples have been sent to him. You know, he's had an article of his removed from one scientific journal because it was proved his scientific methods were wrong. But you know, it's great to just sort of be there on a video and go, we have the facts. Lots of scientific work has been done, you know, and then just pull out things like, you know, oh look, we've got a piece of soil here that's been compacted. You know, it's like every time researchers are pushed back into the corner, you know, because you say, well, sorry, your scientific research is wrong. Every time that you do that, they'll come up with some new piece of evidence, and they'll say, oh yeah, look, you know, we've got this now, so we'll just add it to the pile. And you know, the more you show us that you make the crop circles, the more we'll just add to the pile of things that mean you can't make the crop circles. But of course, all of this stuff they're coming out with, saying, you know, that the magnetic effects, microwave damage. There's no microwave damage in the crop circles. Absolutely no way. I mean, if you look at the scientific research from Levengood, which says there's microwave damage, you're dealing with blown nodes, which was shown in the video. Blown nodes are the knuckles of the plant when they bend up towards the light. When you bend a plant over, and it sort of bends itself back up towards the light on the knuckles, it stretches. The effect of stretching often causes the plant in the heat to split open. Yeast comes out, yeast-like liquid turns black on the edge of the crop, and this has been explained by proper researchers looking into the crop circle subject, such as some people from Italy, Francesco Grassi being one. And they've taken these things to real scientific labs, not scientific labs run in somebody's garden shed like Dr. Levengood, you know, where he basically, you know, gives people what they want and comes out with exactly the types of things that people are looking for, and seems very, you know, efficient at finding, you know, all these things. Other researchers have gone along and looked at these things and said, no, they're perfectly normal things. They're perfectly normal, and they're known in plant biology. You know, scientists know what these effects are, you know, and that there's nothing mysterious about this. But it doesn't stop these videos coming out where they go, oh yeah, but we got scientists. Well, why aren't you talking about the other scientists that have done real research that actually prove that your scientific research is actually nonsense? Why don't you talk about that? You don't talk about the circle makers. You don't talk about other scientists who've said that your work is wrong. You know, and you just keep on coming out with all this new stuff all the time, you know, and just adding it to the mix and coming out with more myths and just repeating the myths, you know. I mean, there's even the gentleman in there who says, oh, somebody came out at 5 a.m. in the morning and the crop circle wasn't there, and then, you know, later on it was there. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. I think the only real way, you know, this one's going to get put to sleep, yeah, you know, that not for the reason that I don't believe there are paranormal things in crop circles. I do, and there are balls of light in crop circles, and they're man-made crop circles, but they attract paranormal phenomena. And I keep on telling people, and there's very few people are listening, you know, but nobody's prepared to experiment. Nobody's prepared to try and prove me wrong. You know, I'm just a voice out there telling you what you need to know, but you're not prepared to do the experiment to find out. And what you really need to do is you need to get us as circle makers to make you circles you can test. But of course, you won't allow that to happen, because you'll just say, oh, they're crap and they've got damage in them and they've got no magnetic effects and all that. So my idea is, either you, or perhaps we should do it, maybe with a TV company or an impartial observer. We should make some crop circles, you know, more than one, maybe 5 or 6 big complex crop circles, and we should make them in secret, and we don't tell anyone till the end of the year. And then the end of the year comes and you've all been going, wow, yeah, and then we reveal that they're man-made, and we'll just see where the cards fall.